Hello, and welcome to our second edition of the Soulshine Spotlight. Anyone that had joined us last week met the very first Soulshine Rhythm Community member, and this week we get to meet two very important and special people from our community. I want to welcome Carlos and Betty to the Soulshine Spotlight. Hi, Carlos and Betty.
Hello, Susie.
Hey, good to see you guys. So just a quick recap for anybody that's just joining us. What we're doing with the Soulshine Spotlight is highlighting some of the amazing members of the Soulshine Rhythm community that make our drum circle what it is. And we really couldn't do it without the folks that come and show up and join in the rhythm, and who share the love and spread the joy and continue to invite more members. So we're so grateful to have you guys here today to chat a little bit and just have a conversation about drums and rhythm and why we love it. So without further ado, I will dive into our first question, and feel free to, both of you can answer. That's fine with me. We can take turns like we learned how to do in kindergarten, right? How did you become interested in drumming?
Well, myself, I've always liked drumming. I've never had drums, but whenever there was music playing, my hands were going, whether in the car or whenever I hear music. I've always had that rhythm, but never had the chance to play drums.
So you were a steering wheel drummer.
Yes.
And how about you, Betty?
Well, my family is from Puerto Rico, and so we've always had like congas in the house, and little kids dancing, and a lot of movement, and so it was a lot of fun to remember that my childhood with congas.
Yeah, so you were surrounded by it. That sounds like my dream. Well, how did you find out about the Soulshine Drum community?
It just came up on Facebook last year. And I was thinking, how long has this been going on? And I haven't heard about it. And once I saw it, we definitely wanted to try it.
Good old.
We've always looked for something different to do. Like Carlos will say, like, back when we used to be able to go to the movies or, just hang out. He's like, only going out to dinner and going out to the movies. We need to find something where we can connect and like have something fun that we can do together.
Yeah.
This gave us the opportunity, to be able to do that, looking forward to an activity outside just eating and watching the movie to enjoy it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love that, because that's exactly what it's about, right? And you mentioned connection, which is one of the foundations of the Soulshine community in general. And you both have probably heard my little sob story, but when I first moved to Cedar Park, that was kind of what got this drum circle going. Was I didn't have anybody to drum with, and I found myself complaining about it a lot. And I thought, well, why don't I just start my own drum circle? So I'm sorry it took so long for you to find us, but I'm glad that you did. Not too long though. I feel like you've been with the community now. Is it going into 2 years? I feel like it's longer than.
It's been at least a year and a half.
Yeah. Well, we are sure happy that you're there, and I'm glad that you both found something that you can do not only together at the drum circle, but also at home when the mood strikes you, right? That's what's great about having drums at home.
You just have to play a little quietly.
Yeah, exactly. So what this question, I love hearing the answer to this question, because I feel from a personal level it changes for me very often. So don't feel like you have to pinpoint one thing. Feel free to share a few. But what has community drumming taught you about yourself?
Probably to open up a little more, because I'm a very self-conscious, quiet person.
Hmm.
And in front of people, I tend to not open up much. But when I'm in a drum circle, I'm able to just express myself through the drumming. And
Yeah,
it's nice.
that's good.
Yeah, and I myself, I'm a teacher by nature, and
Hmm.
so I love meeting new people, and so sometimes I end up sitting next to somebody that's, oh yeah, you should come. We're doing this. When there's a class, and Carlos nudges me. He's like, go back to drumming. I love to meet people, so it's just really fun to meet a new group of people that have something in common, with the drumming. So.
Absolutely. And that's one thing that I really admire and appreciate about both of you is you are often the first people there and you're often the last to leave. And you're always helping and you're always sharing and you're always welcoming new members. And that's really what it's all about, and I've seen you, Betty. I've seen you. I was like, I'm going to have to put her on payroll, getting all these new students enrolled.
Plus, it always helps when we have an opportunity to drum. There's always like an ice cream truck, so it's like ice cream. Will there be ice cream?
Well, and I think that icebreaker moment, to carry on with your ice cream analogy there, is really important to making people feel welcome right away. Because if we look at it from our own experiences, I mean, how often have you come into a new situation and if we're not acknowledged or noticed, and this is just human nature, if you're not acknowledged or noticed pretty quickly inside of that, you're going to be less inclined to stick around and find out what it's about. And so when I can't immediately see somebody or welcome somebody, I love that the members of the community will jump in and do that and let folks know, hey, this is for everybody. This is for the community. Grab an instrument, sit down, join us, or don't, or just stand there and listen. Either way. So keep doing that. That's integral to our community building. What would you say appeals to you about the Soulshine drumming community?
I myself like that there's a diversity of like children will come up and they'll play, and then you see their natural, ability to just, like chime in. And then there's older people, I mean, we're old, but there's like older people. I was like, oh my God, this is so nice that older people just not sitting at home and are
Yeah.
interacting and are getting out, and they bring their pets. And
Mm-hmm.
they get to, talk to their pets too. And
Yeah.
so it's just like a variety of ages and
Yeah.
backgrounds, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's so interesting. Besides the drumming is so interesting with the different sounds, and how we follow along.
Yeah.
That is amazing, and then you just kind of get sucked into that, and you're able to
Mm-hmm.
relax. But just seeing everybody enjoy themselves from different parts of
Yeah. Well, and you're hitting on all my favorite stuff because that really is powerful to have that intergenerational because there's very few places that we see that now. And
yeah.
our generation, we grew up in I mean, like you said, you have a big family. I too had a big family, but there were always grandparents and kids and everybody in between together. And that if there was a family party, then there was friends, and so you had that whole mix all the time and learning from our grandparents and that kind of environment. So I'm glad to hear that that's something that you appreciate. How about you, Carlos?
Well, I've totally forgotten what the question was now.
Oh, what appeals to you about the Soulshine community?
I think because I am such a quiet person, it does allow me to but open up in a different way through the drumming.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're out there drumming, it's just you get this, I don't know what you call it, when everyone's in sync,
Mm-hmm.
or you just feel it and like you're communicating with each other because everyone's in the same rhythm, and it's just a good feeling.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you have to say verbally because you can say it on the drum.
Yes.
And sometimes I can hear you pretty loudly, and I like it. I'm always like, Carlos is doing something cool over there. What does drumming do for you? I mean, what keeps you coming back to it? Not just my circle, but just in general.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Like I said, you have a community that you can, bond to, but then there's that it's almost like prayer, like that time to yourself,
Mm,
give yourself your own growth. It's kind of like when you go running or jogging or do something like that, that's a one-man sport.
yeah.
You're able to relax into it and just kind of like enjoy that moment.
Hmm.
That if you're busy with work and and house cleaning and cooking, you just look forward to that moment that you're going to
Yeah.
go ahead and do the drumming, and that you're going to have a really good experience.
So it kind of becomes a little bit like a ritual where it's something that you work into your life and it becomes something, like you said, that you look forward to, that's
Yeah.
not on your list of have tos, but rather
Yeah.
something that you want to do.
Right.
Yeah. How about you, Carlos? Do you want me to repeat the question?
No, I think I got
Okay.
it. I see it as a stress release.
Hmm.
It's a lot of action, and 2 or 3 hours goes by pretty quick.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, I'm exhausted, but I'm getting all that energy out, and at the same time having fun.
Yeah. So do you feel physically that release happens
Yeah. Yes.
throughout the course of the circle? Do you feel like there's a point when you first get started where you are, I don't know, kind of maybe a little bit stiffer, and
Yeah.
then as you settle into
Yeah.
it?
I'm a little reserved at first, but
Yeah.
then as time goes by, you loosen up, and then you listen to what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
But you're just one big one one big happy family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great to know that you can contribute. I mean, it's like even if you can't really do it too fast, or you want to go at your own pace,
Hmm.
you still fit in. So that's what's amazing about it. So if you get really tired after an hour, which sometimes my hands are burning, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can still last another hour because I can get another instrument, or I can just go slower.
Yeah. That's so much fun. Oh, you guys are making me want to drum right now.
You know?
So, are there any, from a personal level, any unique opportunities or I don't know, experiences that have showed up for you as a result of being part of the community?
I've been able to invite other people, like if it comes up, at school,
Hmm.
they'll ask me, what did you do this summer? And I'm like, oh, I've been drumming. And they're like, drumming? That is so cool. Yeah, and even like the high school kids, that they have so many hours that they put in band and stuff. They're like,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
about that. That is so awesome. And then
yeah.
tell them a little bit about the beats and where
Hmm.
the sounds come from the djembe, and how it's different from other, different drums.
Hmm.
And that's about it because I don't know more. But I got their attention for a little bit.
I was gonna say, so it gave you something to relate to them with. And if you drum, you're instantly cool. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, I sure did.
How about you, Carlos? Anything show up for you in terms of opportunities?
No, it's just giving me uh, another another way to get out there and socialize without
Yeah.
actually having to talk too much.
Right, right. Yeah. That is a beautiful part of that community. And oftentimes, particularly if I've been having a rough week or if it's just, I'm feeling drained and I get there, it's this crazy thing that happens at some point after everything's unloaded and I settle down and we start drumming. It's like, wait a minute, I was tired before? I don't even remember why. But and I think there's a really high level of respect too in the community for respecting boundaries, that not everybody's going to want to sit around and chit chat. Some people might just want to hang out with their drum or might just want to take a break and walk around. And I really like how everybody respects those boundaries with each other.
Yeah, I like a lot of times when they just get up and they start dancing with the rhythm. I was like, that is so cool. I wish I could do
Yeah.
that.
What's stopping you, Betty?
Oh God. I'm busy drumming. I still want to drum.
I know that's my excuse too. That's exactly what I always say. I'm like, I'm drumming. I can't dance, but it is. And having folks to drum for is really fun, isn't it? You can see how the rhythm moves them. So, do you have anything else that you'd like to add? That concludes my formal questions. Is there anything that you would like to add to our conversation?
No, I'm just glad we found your group, and we hope it continues for a long time.
Yay.
Yes, yeah, and I want to thank you, Susie. Like you said, when we first got there, we were an older bunch, and we first got to the class, when we started taking classes, and you always made us feel welcomed, and didn't matter if we had an instrument or weren't thinking about purchasing one or staying for the next lesson.
Yeah.
You still gave us that, that attention, and just made us feel really good about being present in the moment. So whether
Thank
we were coming
you.
back or not. So
Thank you, Betty. And I truly am so well grateful. I mean, I don't know if it's possible to overuse that word, but I really do feel overwhelmed with gratitude for not only you guys continuing to show up, but to share your experience with it with others and recognize the value in it, and I think you probably know from your own experience that it's hard to explain to somebody what happens in that circle. Do you feel that? You know what I mean by that?
yeah,
It's like until you're there and you do it, and it's like, oh, okay. This is why people have been drumming for
yeah,
thousands of years and it's not going anywhere. So, well, thank you again for sharing your stories with us today. I really appreciate you taking the time. And we've got our drum circle next week, August 29th. So I hope to see you guys there.
We will
yep.
be there.
All right. Well, thank you again and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
All
All right, you
right.
take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.